Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indian, and Haitians. Gotta give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, the Most High. The Heavenly Father's name is Yahweh, not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not Ahia, not God. It's Yahweh. His only begotten Son name is Yahweh Shah, not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Yeshaya. It's Yahweh Shah. So gotta give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rekah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, who teach well, and a sincere salutation to all the occupants pushing this truth and believing this truth throughout the four winds of the earth, the entire world, waking up the hopeful elect. And shalom to the Akwaf who are listening and learning, the few sisters who are listening and learning. I'm Isaiah, coming at you another lesson in true facts, faith, and edification, another daily edification. Lord's willing, this be edifying. And I'm titling this, Welcome Back to Your Original Habitation, Ye Bases of Men. Welcome back.
Because I'm back.
Welcome back to your habitation, your original habitation, the origins.
She is not doing well. May I say she is not? She is not doing well. She is not doing well. May I say she is not? She is not doing well. She is not doing well. May I say she is not? She is not doing well. Because
I try to stay positive. We fell behind on the rent and we were evicted. But when we became homeless, it was my husband and I, 5 kids, 1, 5, 7, 9, 14, and then we have the dog. So we lived in our minivan for close 7 or 8 days. No matter how tired I was, I could not sleep because it wasn't safe. It was dangerous. I think the hardest thing was the baby, trying to keep her calm. The other kids were okay, but I hope that one day they forget it. But at the time, they thought it was a little vacation. They didn't understand. Thank God they didn't understand. And they still don't really understand. They still think it's a vacation. Trying to stay clean.
Yeah, we came on vacation too, to North America, Babylon the Great, the land of our captivity, and all the islands of the sea.
Was a struggle from being in the vehicle for even a week. When I walk into a gas station or a restaurant or a store to take the kids, we're disheveled. We catch people's attention. During that time, that emergency shelter services paid for 1 week in the hotel. We were still considered homeless, and we were told that if we were to find housing during that week, that we would get help with rent and security and with housing. That didn't happen. They weren't able to find anything for us. We weren't able to find anything on our own. And we've been in the hotel ever since.
Welcome to the lifestyle of so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Welcome back.
But it's hard. There's no privacy. There's just not any space. Now it hurts us too because everywhere we apply, we're being told no, we're being turned away because of our credit. The shelters just don't have any space, and we have yet to find a shelter that has room for our family. There's no family shelter availability. There's shelters for women with children, and then there's shelters for men, but that divides our family. I think...
Hey, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all their families was divided as well. Okay? So welcome to the lifestyle of so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. Welcome back.
The problem with housing is, people realize that we are homeless. We have to put the hotel for our current address. And it makes me feel helpless and hopeless all over again every time I have to go into the hotel and tell them I don't have enough to pay and think that we may be back in a vehicle again. The first week that we were in the hotel that was paid for by emergency shelter services, we were still considered homeless, so that gave us a lot more help. But now, even that we're in the hotel, it's just, we live there. The other thing that has kept us from housing is needing birth certificates for all the kids, which we lost in our eviction. We've lost our spot on waiting lists for housing because I didn't have birth certificates. Like, the agencies need it right now in order to process your housing with HUD. So that's been a huge barrier for us, is just needing the birth certificates. I don't have them, and I haven't had the funds to get them, and I haven't yet found anybody that can help us get them. I try so hard to keep just some sort of routine, which is almost impossible, and just try to keep positive. And every time I have the chance, we spend our whole day just playing at the park or whatever I need to do to just bring normal back into their lives until we have.
What you're doing is escaping from reality. That's what you're doing. Okay? Same thing so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans had to do. Okay?
Have routine and structure like we should again. We've already hit rock bottom. We've been as low as we can be.
What did the Lord say to Satan in Genesis 3? On thy belly should thou go, right? And dust should thou eat. What did it say in Ecclesiastes 33, right? He said there's a nation of people that he had brought low. Who? The Idumeans. Okay? Welcome back to welcome back to the origins of your habitation, the basis of men. Welcome back.
And really all we can do is build at this point. And I am working a lot, and as soon as we land...
Hold on. Let me play that again. Must needs play that again.
We've been as low as we can be.
Hold on. I ain't go back far enough. Salaki.
Until we have routine and structure like we should again. We've already hit rock bottom. We've been as low as we can be. And really all we can do is build at this point. And I am working a lot. And as soon as we land a house, apartment, whatever it is, that my husband can start working, we can do childcare, the kids will be in school, and then everything will turn around and get put back together. It's just this struggle of getting to that point.
She's not doing well. May I say she is not? She is not doing well. She's not doing well. May I say she is not? She is not doing well.
Ain't no getting back to well, man.
Because I'm back.
Hey, welcome back, man. Okay? Welcome back to your original habitation, man. If you know anything about history, after the Babylonian Empire, the Babylonian rule, which was the Assyrians, you had what? The Medes and Persian Empire, okay? Which was who? Elam, right? After the Medes and Persian Empire, what was the next rulership? It was the Greek Empire. Who? Alexander the Great, right? From Alexander the Great all the way to the Roman Empire, who was in rulership? The Idumeans, right? From the Roman Empire, which, you know, you had Jake that ruled, we ruled for 1,000 years, right? The Byzantine Empire, right? But who's been in rulership since the Greek Empire? The so-called white man, right? From the Roman Empire to North America, Babylon the Great. So, welcome back to your original habitation. And what is happening is, your kingdom is falling right before your eyes. So welcome back.
Live from the world headquarters of RT America in our nation's capital, this is the news with Rick Sanchez.
And hello again, everybody. I'm Rick Sanchez. Why are Americans so in debt? I mean, just think about this for a minute. If the economy is as good as we're constantly being told it is, then why are Americans not saving any money? Why don't average consumers have any cash on hand to buy things? Why do they have to borrow so damn much? It's a decent question, right? Here, the new U.S. household debt numbers are out, and they ain't pretty. For the 22nd straight quarter, in other words, for 5 straight years, Americans' borrowing habits have gone up without fail. The total U.S. household debt rose by more than $600 billion from last year. That means, for the first time ever, what average Americans owe surpassed $14 trillion. $14 trillion. By the way, the borrowing is across the board. Student debt went up from $1.46 trillion in the final quarter of last year to $1.51 trillion in the first quarter of this year. Oh, by the way, you know who holds $100 billion of that debt? Americans over the age of 60 who apparently still haven't been able to pay their college. All right, let's talk car loans. Auto debt has now risen for 35 consecutive quarters, 11 straight years. We now owe $1.33 trillion in auto loans. 5% of those haven't made a payment in more than 90 days. Auto loan delinquency through the roof. So now let's move over to credit cards. Americans now owe more than $1.4 trillion in credit card debt, which is up from $854 billion just 5 years ago. By the way, credit card delinquencies just hit a 2-year high as well. More than 8% of credit card holders aren't even making a minimum payment. I guess because they can't afford to. So in all the hoopla about the greatest economy ever that we keep hearing, very few are telling you just how bloated our economy actually is. Yes, we're consuming more, as we're constantly reminded to do just that. But are we doing it on borrowed time and borrowed money? A lot of economists are saying an economy laden with this much debt is just a giant bubble. It's just waiting to burst. Like it or not, this is information we should all know, which is why we'll drill down on this here on the News with Rick Sanchez, where we believe it's time to do news again. Here's our list of the questions we think you'll be asking tomorrow. How long can an economy last when it's increasingly riddled with debt? Syria using
Not long.
the Armenian genocide as a weapon against Turkey. What are the symptoms of coronavirus that you should know and be worried about? Let's begin with the Fed. In other words, our central bank, or better said, a panel of unelected bankers who decide how much money to print out of thin air to stimulate the economy, because they don't think our economy is healthy enough to sustain itself. Those guys, they announced today that they're going to continue pumping billions and billions into banks so they can pay their loans all the way into April. This is called the repo market, and if you're not troubled by that, you should be. Why? It's an intervention that has nothing to do with reality and everything to do with artificial economic manipulation. That is why a majority of economists are now saying, in fact, many of them go further still, they accuse the Fed of creating a, quote, monster bubble. Is it? It's an important question. We have team coverage on this topic today, which begins with RT correspondent Saya Tavenger on what is a scary number, our $14 trillion household debt.
Rick, U.S. households are now sitting on a record $14 trillion in mortgages, credit cards, student loans, and other forms of debt. And now that marks the biggest annual increase since before the financial crisis hit. Now, according to the New York Federal Reserve, which is one of the 12 banks that make up the Federal Reserve System, total household debt balances rose by $601 billion just in the last year, which now tops $14 trillion for the first time ever in U.S. history. And the last time the growth was that large was in 2007 when household debt rose by over $1 trillion. Now, here's a breakdown in which the numbers really help paint the story here. And this chart that you're seeing, that's in trillions, and the housing debt now accounts for some $10 billion of that total balance, while balances for auto loans and credit card debt has once again surpassed student loans as a form of debt most affecting young people, which went up by $57 billion for the year. And mortgages remain the largest chunk of America's debt, accounting for some $9.44 trillion, and that's up by $31 billion, Rick. And take a look at the increase, which shows that debts like auto loans, credit card, and student loans increased by almost 30% since 2003. And there was some good news, though, although almost 300,000 people had a new foreclosure and bankruptcy added to their credit reports last year. Foreclosures still remain low by historical standards. And all of this borrowing, particularly credit cards and mortgages, do support consumer spending, which is the biggest part of the U.S. economy, but that debt would also become harder to repay during the next recession when unemployment hits. And this is the thing, though, Rick. What are we constantly hearing from the president? Take a listen yourself.
The unemployment rate is the lowest in over half a century. The average unemployment rate for my administration is the lowest of any U.S. president in recorded history. We're having probably the best years that we've ever had in the history of our country.
But that's the thing. But what is not being said here is that when we focus on low unemployment and a strong economy, we often forget that in many ways the rising cost of life can eat away most of those gains. For example, healthcare has never been more expensive, and even getting a college degree, a path that's likely to lead to a higher paying job, has never been more expensive. Then there's a housing market, which, guess what, has also never been more expensive. So while income...
They are all forges of lies, man. Hey, Psalm 50:83 say what? They come out of the womb speaking lies, man. Okay? Soon they be born, man. They are estranged from the womb. Soon they be born speaking lies, man.
Comes both at the high and low end are indeed growing. The pace just hasn't kept up with these crucial life expenses, which is why we're facing such a debt crisis. In one,
Babylon the Great, North America, will never be great again, man. Never. And when was it great? Supposedly great? When you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans was in captivity. I'm talking about physical change.
Washington, aside Tavenger RT.
Good explanation, Sarah. We certainly appreciate it. And joining us now is John Grace.
So, hey, man. When was America great? When you was in captivity, man. Okay? This is Job chapter 9 and verse 24. And it reads, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? We don't have a Chinese Jesus, a Japanese Jesus, or African Jesus. Nor do we have an Elam Jesus or Arab Jesus. But we do have a so-called white Jesus. Okay? Facts. So the earth was given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges. Who are the judges of the earth? Yahweh and Yahushua. And the Israelites. Okay? King David, Solomon, the rest of the Israelites. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the face of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? This is Daniel chapter 4 and 17. It reads, this matter is by the decree of the watchers and a demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and set up over it the bases of men. Who are the bases of men according to the Bible? The so-called white man, the Edomites, the Idumeans. That's what the Bible say. You can read Job chapter 30, 1 through 8. They were children of fools. Yeah, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. This is Job 22 and 19. It reads, the righteous see it and are glad, and the innocent laugh them to scorn. Laugh who to scorn? The Idumeans. Why? Because they'll fall, man. Okay, we see them falling. This is why we laugh them to scorn. Ecclesiasticus 25 and verse 7. It reads, there be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that have joy over his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemies. Are we not seeing the fall of our enemies? Yes, we are, man. Every day. Okay? They have 4 epidemics that's going on. They are dying faster than they can be born. The suicide rate is at an all-time high. Okay? They have the opioid crisis. They are dying faster than they can be born. They have the suicide rate. They have the this opioid crisis, and it was another one. Suicide rate. Suicide, ODing, opioids, and they are dying faster than they can be born, man. That's 4 epidemics that's happening to the Idumeans, man. Okay? That's Deuteronomy 30 and 7 all day. Okay? Yeah. A man, it's Ecclesiastes 25 and 7. It say, a man that have joy over his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemies. And that's what we see going on, man. This Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 8. It reads, better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof, and the patience in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. Verse 10. This is what Trump pushed his presidency speech on. This Ecclesiastes 7:10. He said he's gonna make America great again, right? Now he's pushing keep America great. And they did the same thing with these purge movies, man. Okay? Ecclesiastes 7:10. This is Trump's speech. Say not thou, what is the cause that the former days were better than these? Why was the former days better than these? Because you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans was in captivity, man. Okay? With yokes of iron upon thy neck. Ecclesiastes 7:10 again. Say not thou, what is the cause that the former days were better than these? For thou doest not inquire wisely concerning this. 2/3 of Jake don't inquire why this devil is saying that. They don't. That's Trump's speech right there. Why is the former days better than these days, man? What it said, Ecclesiastes 7:8, better is the end of a thing than the beginning, man. This is Psalms 75. In verse 6, it reads, for promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. But Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another. So, what does Daniel 4:7 say? He set up over the earth the bases of men. Right? Job 9:24. For in the hand of the Lord is a cup, and the wine is red. It is full of mixture, and he poureth out of it the same. But the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them. Okay? And you can read about that in Isaiah 51 and 21. It reads, Therefore hear not this, thou afflicted, and drunken, but not with wine. Thus saith the Lord, and thy power, that plead the cause of his people. Behold, I have taken out of thy hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again, but I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee, which I just read to you in Psalms 75 and verse 8. Which have said to thy soul, Bow down that we may go over, and thou hast laid thy body as the ground and as the street to them that went over. Who went over us? The Idumeans, the so-called white man, the Edomites. Okay? The Lord said, what? Thy punishment is come. Okay? And you will drink of the cup. This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, and verse 5. It reads, For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. For who? The Idumeans. Isaiah 34 and 5. The Lord swore shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. Psalm 63 and 1 and 2. Psalm 63, 1 through 3. Salakia, Isaiah 63, 1 through 3. Okay? Isaiah 34, 1 through 6. Jeremiah 49, okay? 10 through 12. That cup, Revelation 18, okay? 4 through 6. They shall drink it, man. They're going to drink down. Why? Because you help forth the affliction. Your kingdom is falling, man. Isaiah 47 and 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Let's read this. Jeremiah. This is Jeremiah 50 and 23. And it reads, How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? How? Because of the pride of this place, man. Because of your pride. Because you have exalted yourself as the eagle. Because you have put your hand on the apple of the Lord's eye, man. You help forth the affliction. So, your punishment, your judgment is to sit in the dust, man. This is Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 10. It reads, See, I have this day set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms to root out and to pull down and to destroy and to throw down and to build and to plant. What? And to build and to plant the elect of the nation of Israel. The elect of the so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. The 144,000, 12,000 from each tribe. And then the unnumbered multitude from out of the so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. This is Job 34 and 23. It reads, For he would not lay upon man more than right, that he should enter into judgment with power. He shall break in pieces mighty men without number, and set others in their stead. He's gonna he's gonna set who? The elect of Negro, Latino, and Native Americans in your stead. What does it say in Daniel? The saints shall take the kingdom, man, and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and forever, man. Okay? The saints shall take the kingdom, man, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. This is Baruch chapter 3 Verse 16, it reads, where are the princes of the heathen become, and such as rulers, and such as rule the beasts upon the earth? They that have their pastime with the fowls of the air, and they have hoarded up silver and gold, wherein men trust, and made no end of their getting. For they that wrought in silver and were so careful, and whose works are unsearchable, they are vanished and gone down to the grave, and others are come up in their stead. In your steed, man. Which is who? The elect of Israel, man. You devils, kingdom is fallen, man, and there's nothing you can do about it. Okay? This is Luke chapter 1. And let's start at 49. It reads, for he that is mighty hath done to me great things, and holy is his name. And his mercy is on them that fear him from generation to generation. We're talking about the elect. Verse 51. He have showed strength with his arm. He have scattered the proud in the imaginations of their heart. And who was he scattered? You Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay? But what? He have put down the mighty from their seats. That's what happened to the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. That's what happened to Judah, Benjamin, Levi in Jerusalem. It said he have put down the mighty from their seats and exalted them of low degree. So he put down the Israelites and he rose up the bases of men. Let's keep reading. He have filled the hungry with good things, and the rich he have set empty. He have sent empty away. Right? He have hopened his servants Israel. Hopen means strengthen. He have hopened his servants Israel in remembrance of his mercy. Right? So he put you devils up, but guess what? He's taking you down. Verse 55. As he spake to our fathers, to Abraham, and to his seed forever. So the Lord put down the nation of Israel, right? And then he rose up the bases of men. But now he's taking the bases of men out of their seat and raising back up the nation of Israel, man. This is Sirach. Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and 13. It reads, for pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abominations. And therefore the Lord brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly. The Lord hath cast down the thrones of proud princes and set up the meek in their stead. The Lord hath plucked up the roots of the proud nations, who? Esau, Edom, and planted the lowly in their place. The Lord overthrew countries of the heathen and destroyed them to the foundation of the earth. Okay? Listen, man. Now, your kingdom is falling, and the nation of Israel is on the rise, man. This is Proverbs 29 and verse 2. It reads, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked breath rule, the people mourn. Nations are pissed off at you devils, man. You can read it in Isaiah 14 chapter, man. Okay? You can read in Isaiah the 14th chapter, man. These nations are pissed off with you, man. Okay? Let's read this. Jeremiah. Let's prove that the nations are pissed off with you and they waiting on the elect of Israel to go back in the rulership, man. Jeremiah 51 and 8 reads. Let's read verse 7. Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Okay? Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. And you can read about this in 2nd Ezra, the 11th chapter, man. Your sins have reached into heaven. You can read about this in Revelation, the 18th chapter. Your sins have reached unto heaven, man. And the Lord is tired of you devils, man. Jeremiah 51 and 24. And I will render unto Babylon and to all the inhabitants of Chaldeans all the evil that they have done in Zion in your sight. Who is Zion? Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Saith the Lord. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord, which destroyeth all the earth. Who's destroying the earth? The so-called white man. And I will stretch out my hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain. That's why North America gonna be destroyed first and foremost. The Lord is saving the best place for last. That's why when the plague hit this place, it's gonna hit this place all at once, man. Okay? When the missiles begin to be shot at the end of the world, in the ends of the earth, it's gonna destroy North America, Babylon the Great first, man. Okay, why? Because your sins have reached into the heavens, man. He said he would roll thee down from the mountains and burn thee, okay, and make thee a burnt mountain. He said, oh, destroying mountain. Revelation chapter 11 and 18 reads, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name, which is only the 144,000 of Negro, Latino, Native Americans, and the unnumbered multitude of Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, small and great, and should have destroyed them which destroy the earth. Who's destroying the earth? You so-called white people, you Idumeans, you Edomites. You are destroying the earth, man. So guess what? Welcome back to your original habitation, man. Okay? This is your original habitation, man.
Because I'm back.
This is your original habitation, man. Welcome back. And welcome back to your origin of cave dwellers, bases of men. Let's get this. Ecclesiasticus 33 and verse 10. It reads, and all men are from the ground, and Adam was created of earth. In much knowledge the Lord hath divided them, Deuteronomy 32 and 8, and made their ways diverse. Some of them have he blessed and exalted, and some of them have he sanctified and set near himself, the Israelites. But some of them have he cursed, you Idumeans, you Edomites, and brought low, and turned out of their places. As the clay is in the potter's hand to fashion it at his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him to render to him as liking him best. Good is set against evil, and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinners against the godly. So look upon all the works of the Most High, and there are 2 and 2, one against another. The Idumeans, the Edomites against the Israelites. Point blank, period. The red Hebrew Edomites against the different shades of brown Hebrew Israelites. Okay? He said he cursed you and brought you low. Okay, you can read that in Genesis 3 and 15. What did he say? What did he tell Satan? Let's read it. Genesis 3 and 14. And the Lord said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shall thou go, meaning the lowest of the low, brought low, and dust shall thou eat all the days of thy life. Confusion. Okay? And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Right? The wound of the beast, one of the wounds was healed, right? Who wounded the Roman Empire? Who wounded the pagan Roman Empire? The Holy Roman Empire. The so-called Holy Roman Empire, right? Wounded the pagan Roman Empire, right? But your wound was healed. You came back as who? North America, Babylon the Great. But guess what? That fatal wound is what it said Jacob took Esau by the heel, right? Let's read this. What is that? Hosea chapter 12 and verse 3. He took his brother by the heel. Hosea chapter 12 and verse 3. He took his brother by the heel in the womb, and by his strength he had power with Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. So guess what? This is your downfall. Your time of rulership is over, man. And guess what you're going to do? What's left for you to do? First Peter's 5 and 8. Be sober, you Israelites, you elect, you hopefully elect. Be vigilant, you elect, you hopefully elect. Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walking about seeking whom he may devour. Why are they going to do this, Lord? Why are they going to walk around and seek whom they may devour? Job 14 and 5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee, the Most High, that has appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. So since the Lord, the Most High Yahweh, has appointed his bounds he cannot pass, he's going to do this. Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down to you having great wrath, because he know that he have but a short time. Hey, that's why you're going to do what you do, man. That's why you're going to push bio warfare. That's why you're going to come in like a flood. Why? Because the only option you have is to use your sword, man.
Founder of Investors Advantage Corps has a book out called Making Finance Make Sense. Good for him for explaining this for us. And hopefully we can understand this now, because I am really confused. I'm looking at this and I'm no expert, but you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking if we're told our economy is awesome, but it's based on essentially free money. In other words, the money that's being circulated in our economy is being printed somewhat fictitiously and then given to people and say, here, go spend, go spend, go spend. Spend money you don't really have. I'm not an expert, but I think that formula is a formula for disaster at some point. Am I wrong?
No, it is a formula for disaster. Again, Ecclesiastes 7:10. This is Trump's speech. Say not thou, what is the cause that the former days were better than these? Let's make America great again. Let's keep America great. Listen, say not thou, what is it called that the former days were better than these? For thou doest not inquire wisely concerning this. Our people don't consider why this devil is saying let's make America great again. They don't consider. You got 2/3 of Jake is cleaving to this devil and his make America and his keep America great again, man. And they do not consider wisely concerning this, man. Why? Because they have Stockholm syndrome. They trust in their oppressor. They have a mental illness. They have a disease, man. So Lord willing, this will edify. Gotta give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. By Hashem Yahweh Shai. By Hashem Rikah Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, who teach well, and a sincere salutation to all the occupants pushing this truth and believing this truth throughout the four winds of the earth, the entire world, waking up the hopeful elect. Shalom to the Akbar who are listening and learning. You few sisters who are listening and learning. May the Lord willing edifying. Until next time, I say Shalom.
I try to stay positive. We fell behind on the rent and we were evicted. But when we became homeless, it was my husband and I, 5 kids, 1, 5, 7, 9, 14, and then we have the dog. So we lived in our minivan for close to 7 or 8 days. No matter how tired I was, I could not sleep because it wasn't safe. It was dangerous. I think the hardest thing was the baby, trying to keep her calm. The other kids were okay, but I hope that one day they forget it. But at the time, they thought it was a little vacation.
They ain't gonna forget it, and you can believe that.
They didn't understand. Thank God they didn't understand, and they still don't really understand. They still think it's a vacation. Trying to stay clean was a struggle. From being in the vehicle for even a week, when I walk into a gas station or a restaurant or a store to take the kids, we're disheveled. We catch people's attention. During that time, that emergency shelter services paid for 1 week in the hotel. We were still considered homeless, and we were told that if we were to find housing during that week, that we would get help with rent and security and with housing. That didn't happen. They weren't able to find anything for us. We weren't able to find anything on our own, and we've been in the hotel ever since. It's hard. There's no privacy. There's just not any space. Now it hurts us too because everywhere we apply, we're being told no, we're being turned away because of our credit.
Hey, welcome to the life of a so-called Negro, Latino, Native American. Shalom.